you're going to want to develop these players to be better every single year. And the reality is we don't have the processes in place for those players to be better year after year. They may maintain, they may be slightly better, but not at the improvement levels that we were able to make when I was a younger player through our ability to practice more. We had less distractions. There was much more opportunity in the off-season to train. There was more opportunity in training camp to train. There was more opportunity than the regular season to train. We had and not only through pro level, but also in college sports, because whatever gets adopted at the pro level ultimately gets adopted at the college level, and from the college level, it gets adopted to the high school level. And now I look at what could be a little bit dangerous is now there are players transferring from schools when they're not playing, and they're going to different programs, and they're going to different techniques they're learning. They're never advancing in an own individual system. There used to be college programs. Now there are college teams. You're no longer learning a program, you're learning a playbook. And the program is ultimately, like at Michigan, for me, that was a pro-style program. 5 years I got to learn how to drop back pass, to read defenses, to read coverages, to be coached, to deal with winning games, to deal playing in Columbus, Ohio in front of 110,000 people. Right. I had to learn from being 7th quarterback on the depth chart to moving up to 3rd to ultimately being a starter. I had to learn all those things in college. That was development. Then I went to New England and I was developed by Coach Belichick and the offensive staff there. I didn't start my first year. I think it's just a tragedy that we're forcing these rookies to play early, but the reality is the only reason why they are is because we dumbed the game down, which has allowed them to play. It used to be thought of at a higher level. We used to spend hours and hours in the offseason and training camp trying to be a little bit better than next year. But I think what happens is it discourages the coaches from going to deep levels because they realize the players don't have the opportunity to go to a deep level, so they're just going to teach them where they're at.
How does that get rectified? How does that rectified so the quality of the quality of play can improve? How do you rectify that?
Well, I would say as I speak to, let's say, a quarterback, for example, when I was a quarterback, what I aspired to be was a game general out there. I wanted to be that field general. I wanted to call the shots. You could, if you were my coach, you would call a play. That play would come into me. I would say, okay, I think, and we've communicated before the game, this is the reason why he called the play. We talked about this. I'm walking the line of scrimmage. I'm looking at the defense. Oh, perfect. I love the defense. This is exactly why we called this play. I snapped the ball. Well, every defense is built a little differently, and every defense takes away something a little different. Sometimes I walk to the line of scrimmage, I knew exactly why we called the play, and I goes, oh God, it's not gonna work. We have no chance this play working based on the defense that they called. So I would change the play.
Got it.
And I'd get out of the play, I'd turn it. If, let's say I had a deep pass and they were guarding you deep, I would check to a run. I'd check to a short throw. I'd get out of that play to make sure that play was successful. Now the quarterbacks walk to the line of scrimmage, coach calls a deep play, defense calls a coverage that takes away a deep play, and they snap the ball. And that quarterback's holding the ball, and he gets sacked, and then I hear people go, well, the offensive line's got to hold up. And I'm listening like, there was no one going to be open on that play. You could call it 100 times, the same result would have happened. When is a quarterback's responsibility to check to a play that's going to be successful? That's what I did. That's what Peyton Manning did. That's what Ben Roethlisberger did. That's what Drew Brees did. That's what Phillip Rivers did. Those are the guys. That's what Joe Montana did. That's what Steve Young did. That's what John Elway did. So when I look at the great players, I think, okay, let's try to be great. And to be great, you got to...
Houston CJStroud is still just 22 years old, as his fellow AFC South starting quarterback Anthony Richardson. Among the others, still 25 or younger, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, and Trevor Lawrence. All right, SA, you're up first here. Which quarterback, 25 or under, do you trust the most to actually reach the Super Bowl?
Well, me personally, I got to give love to Love, as in Jordan Love. I mean, I was impressed with what I saw. Obviously, he's tied with Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow right now for all-time NFL record high salary, $55 million a year. He's got to earn his money, make no mistake about that. But to watch him, albeit against the Cowboys, because anybody's going to beat them come playoff time, but to watch him doing what he did in the postseason against the Cowboys, I got to give respect where it's due. Matt LaFleur showed up and showed that he knows how to coach when Aaron Rodgers is not his quarterback. Give him his props where it's due as well. I just look at Jordan Love and what he brings to the table. I look at the fact that they've acquired Josh Jacobs, the two-time Pro Bowler as well. I think that helps them. We saw some of their weapons at wideout with Watson and others, and Romeo, where Arthur Romeo, we have the Romeo Dobbs. We know he's got them. So I'm just looking at a few things that they have available to him, and I believe that Jordan Love of the folks. Don't get me wrong, I ain't sneezing on cjstroud by any stretch of the imagination. I love that brother, but I think that you got to look at Jordan Love and say, yo, it should be him.
Well, I think the reason to go Love would be that he plays in the NFC. Okay. And we often give the AFC quarterbacks a difficult stretch to get to the Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes is there and so many other good quarterbacks. But I trust CJ Stroud. I trust CJ Stroud for this reason. He's still on a rookie contract. And when you have a quarterback that's on a rookie contract who can play all pro level ball or play Pro Bowl level ball, you can add pieces around him. You go out and you get Joe Mixon, you add Stephon Diggs to the wide receiver core, but you also improve your defense with Danico Autry, with Daniil Hunter. You add Aziz at the linebacker position. You go out and draft Lassiter High from the Georgia Bulldogs. They've built this team to win right now with a quarterback who can play at a level with the Joe Burrows, with the Josh Allens, with the Lamar Jacksons, and yes, with the Patrick Mahomes when the time is right. And so I believe looking at all of these things, that CJ Stroud, what he was able to do as a rookie, DeMeco Ryans and the way that he coached him, the way that he led that team, and Bobby Slowick showing once again that McDaniel, Shanahan, that sort of tree is a perfect fit for quarterbacks who can run the play action, who can make decisions quickly. And we watched CJ Stroud go toe-to-toe with Joe Burrow last year in Cincinnati, where Joe played well. We saw him go toe-to-toe with Baker Mayfield when they scored 38 in Houston, leading a touchdown drive with a minute left to go in the game. I think all of these things for CJ Stroud say that he's the type of player that can not only win a Super Bowl in the future, CJ Stroud and them can win a Super Bowl this year. And so I think to discount him just because of playing in the AFC is wrong. This is the dude that understands it. This is the dude that has the sort of leadership and mental you need. And obviously he has the physical traits on.
Well, I really think it's a two-horse race, guys.
The conversation surrounding young quarterbacks in the NFL is as intense as ever. In a league where veterans like Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow dominate, the question becomes, which quarterback under 25 do you trust most to lead their team to a Super Bowl? Is it the rising star CJ Stroud or the waiting in the wings talent Jordan Love? The stakes couldn't be higher for these young guns, and the comparisons to legends like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning at the same age are inevitable. First up is CJ Stroud, the 22-year-old rookie who has taken the league by storm. Stroud, despite his youth, has already shown the poise and maturity of a seasoned veteran. Leading game-winning drives, going toe-to-toe with elite quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, this kid has shown that he belongs among the best. His pocket presence, his ability to manipulate defenses, and his quick decision-making set him apart. He's not just another young quarterback, he's someone who could truly carry his team deep into the playoffs and beyond. But let's be real, the AFC is a battlefield. Stroud's road to the Super Bowl is paved with obstacles: Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Burrow. Can he conquer them all? It's a tall task, but Stroud has shown he has the leadership, mental toughness, and physical abilities to pull it off. Then there's Jordan Love, a name that's been whispered in the shadows for years as he sat on the bench behind Aaron Rodgers. Now Love is finally stepping into the spotlight, and he's proving that the wait was worth it. His stats in the second half of the season were phenomenal: a 62% completion rate, 18 touchdowns, and just one interception. Love learned from one of the best in Rodgers, and now it's his time to shine. The NFC might not be as stacked with elite quarterbacks as the AFC, but Love still faces a monumental challenge in leading the Packers back to the promised land. Can he follow in the footsteps of legends like Rodgers and Brett Favre? The tools are there, but only time will tell if Love can handle the pressure of being the face of the franchise. What makes this debate even more captivating is how it mirrors the past. At 25, quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were already making waves in the league. Brady had a Super Bowl ring under his belt, and Manning was well on his way to rewriting the record books. These were quarterbacks who didn't just handle pressure, they thrived under it. Today's young quarterbacks are tasked with replicating that kind of success in a much more competitive and faster-paced league. But let's not sugarcoat it. CJ Stroud has the tougher path ahead. To reach the Super Bowl, he'll need to outplay some of the best quarterbacks the league has ever seen. Going up against Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow isn't just challenging, it's brutal. Stroud's success will depend on his ability to navigate through one of the most competitive AFC landscapes in recent history. Yet, despite the challenges, Stroud has already proven he can rise to the occasion. Jordan Love, meanwhile, has a slightly easier path in the NFC. The quarterback landscape isn't as fierce, and that's why some believe Love has a better shot at getting to the Super Bowl sooner. However, that doesn't mean his journey will be easy. The Packers' expectations are sky high, and Love will need to deliver consistently if he hopes to carry the team back to the big game. So, who do you trust more to lead their team to the Super Bowl? CJ Stroud's youth and raw talent are undeniable, but his path is littered with obstacles. Jordan Love, on the other hand, has the benefit of experience, albeit limited, and a less treacherous road in the NFC. Both quarterbacks have shown flashes of brilliance, and both have the potential to become the next great stars of the NFL. But if I had to choose, I'm putting my faith in CJ Stroud. Yes, his journey through the AFC will be a trial by fire, but Stroud has already shown he has the leadership and skill to navigate that gauntlet. His ability to read defenses, adjust on the fly, and deliver in clutch moments gives him the edge. Stroud isn't just a promising young quarterback, he's a future star who could very well be leading his team to a Super Bowl sooner than we think. Jordan Love has the patience, the preparation, and the tools, but in the end, it's all about who can deliver when the lights are brightest. Right now, Stroud's mental fortitude and ability to perform under pressure make him the most trustworthy young quarterback to lead his team to the biggest stage. As we watch these young quarterbacks grow, the future of the NFL is unfolding before our eyes. The next generation of stars is ready to step up, and the only question left is, who will be the first to hoist the Lombardi Trophy?